All right, we are on air now. I'm going to go to the profile. Folks that have watched this live know that this is where my hiccup kicks in and make sure that we are not private. And it is. It's showing us as private. So let's get it public. Let's get it public. All right. Now we are public. Thank you so much for those of you who are joining. When you watch this talk tonight, go ahead and hashtag Live Squad. Those of you who catch it on the replay, please hashtag replay so that we can acknowledge you. You are absolutely invited to share in the comments and ask your questions. Bailey is here for it tonight. She wants to talk with you, right? This is Transcend with Bootstrap Dreams. We are here to talk about all things life, all things adulting, whether you are self-employed, unemployed, employed, whatever your means. We're talking about all things life. We're talking about overcoming life disappointments. We're talking about making your extraordinary dreams manifest into your reality. And our guest tonight, Bailey, is an absolute reflection of all of that. She has turned her business, right? She's gone from solopreneur to agency model in 8 months and is killing it out here in the digital strategy world and the business strategy world. She is, I always call it the copywriter of copywriters, right? You're going to learn so much from this woman tonight. And I'm excited, Bailey, that you've taken the time to join our audience here on Transcend with Bootstrap Dreams. Thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. I am super excited to be here and honored, to be honest, because, everybody knows Tawana is a complete powerhouse, right? So who wouldn't want to come on here and talk if they can? So I'm just super excited to be here and to share whatever I can with you guys.
Thank you. No doubt that whatever you share is going to be amazing. I've sat in many of your trainings. I've seen what you do. We mastermind. We're in coaching together, and I just adore you. I just do. I love how you move. I like how you mom. I like how you are in companionship with your husband, the team that you all are making and evolving to be even better. Like, it's just been really, really beautiful to witness your journey. It's just been really amazing. So you guys, make sure that you check her out. She's got some good stuff, and she'll tell you more about that at the end on how you can access her information and get in her goodness. All right. So, I've only got one scripted question. Everything else is going to be a unscripted conversation. So again, as you guys are watching, hashtag live for us, hashtag replay when you're watching the replay, and drop your questions. As she's talking, we will address them. All right. So Bailey, when you hear the word transcend, what comes to mind?
I think it's pushing the limits for me. So whether you are bettering yourself, you are bettering the lives of others, you are pushing your family members, your friends to be better. I think that's really what transcend means to me, because we all need that motivation to be better in business, but also to be better human beings in general, So a lot of the things that we talk about is how our personal life really intertwines with our business. And for me, that really happens in motherhood, because I'm a mompreneur. He is almost always with me. The only reason why he's not is because he's with his dad at the moment, because he's not working, right? But otherwise, for me, transcend really means like pushing myself to always be the better entrepreneur, to be the better mom, to give my all when I can, where I can, right? Because the other thing is, we can always push ourselves to be better, but at one point we have to admit that we can only do as much as we can do, right? And so it's factoring in that grace for ourselves and for others as well.
Oh man, you speak my language, right? You can only do what you can do, meaning you don't have to do it all if you don't have the capacity to, right? You don't have to do it all if you don't want to. It's okay, right? To not want to, there's some things that we have to show up and do because we know as well to do, yet you don't have to do it all. And if you don't have the capacity to, we can outsource and reach, right? let
Mm-hmm.
professionals in their zone of genius do what they do, right? Oh man, that's
Absolutely.
good. And grace, teaming, collaboration, like all
Mm-hmm.
of that has been so valuable. I know it's been significant for me this year, right? Digging into increasing value and visibility through collaboration. It's been amazing. And that's something that you absolutely do in life, family, and business, entrepreneurship. And it's working so well for you because of who you are and how you are working, right? It's the human first. It's the human first. So I'm grateful for that. So let's talk about it. Tell the people more about you, because of course I can just go forward because I know you. But let
Yeah.
those who are joining us know exactly who you are and why they want to stay tuned tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am an extremely proud mompreneur who runs a very successful business, and I am okay with saying that.
That's right.
I, like many people, got laid off during the pandemic, which is also not a dirty word.
That's right.
And I decided to pull together all of my expertise, my 6 years of sales experience, my marketing experience, my writing experience, my supply chain operations and logistics experience. Can you imagine
All
pulling
that.
all these things together?
All that.
And pulling it together to create a successful business so that
Mm-hmm.
I could provide for my family. Okay. Like to want to touch on, me and my spouse are very much partners in everything. And one of the things that we talked about when we decided to have a family and decided to be together is that
Mm-hmm.
I never technically wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. Like that
Right.
was never one of my goals. I always wanted to work. I am very driven. I'm an Enneagram 3, high achiever. Like that is
Yes.
my dream, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he was a little bit surprised when I wanted to start my own business from home. And I was like, well, initially it's going to be me and my son all day, every day.
Right.
But one day I'll be making millions and then it'll be, he'll be in school and I'll be able to control my time.
That's
Right.
right. That's
And
right.
that's my ultimate goal. So within oh geez, it's been like what, 9 months since I started my
It's 9
business?
months now. Yeah.
Like they went by so quickly, and I started as a copywriter doing one-on-one done for you services. I worked for free in the very beginning, which is also
Mm-hmm.
not a bad thing, no matter who
No.
tells you that it is.
And
I
pause. Go ahead.
mhm,
I was gonna say,
no,
because I want to emphasize for Bailey, like you, like when, so people are like, oh, I don't, I'm afraid to talk, or I'm afraid to network, or I'm afraid to hop on calls.
mhm,
Bailey, will you share approximately how many networking calls you did, right? Those unseen actions. People think success happens once you hit a milestone, but I
mm-mm,
say it is the unseen, unacknowledged, sometimes grunty work that you do that nobody even knows. And then when you show up and get acknowledged, people are like, how did you get there? Where did she come
mhm.
from? She's been doing this, right? That work didn't just start in that moment, suddenly seen. That's not when it started. It started underneath the journey,
Mhm.
right? And we don't talk about that enough. And so just give them an idea approximately how many networking calls you did before you actually were like, you know what? I'm doing this. I'm charging for a service.
Mhm. Absolutely. So I started my business in June of 2020, and between
Mhm.
June and July, I did somewhere right around like 80 to 100 coffee chats right in that period. And yes, that means that I was literally talking to people from like 7 a.m. all
Mhm.
the way until like 7 p.m.
Mhm.
And I would have my son with me the whole time, and it
Yep.
was just part of the gig. And
Yep.
I probably did somewhere right around like 20-ish projects for free, small projects, larger projects, whatever it was, showing up, just kind of being myself, telling them exactly where I was in business. And I wasn't afraid to do this stuff because,
Right.
one, I was getting really good at my own messaging as a copywriter. Like that
Oh,
is so, so important.
huge.
And so, two, I was growing my network. So I come
Mhm.
from sales, and so I know how important it is to grow your network and really show up as a human
Yes.
too, right?
Yes.
And then three, doing all of these projects gave me experience. It gave me testimonials. It gave me confidence and to
Mm.
go and deliver, right? And
Mhm.
so it also allowed me to build some of those frameworks, the back end of my business, because
Mm-hmm.
coming in, all the gurus will tell you all of these different ways to do things,
Right.
whether it's from like just systems and processes in the back end to
Mm-hmm.
actual implementation
Mm-hmm.
and projects, especially in the writing world, is really subjective as a
Mm-hmm.
creative. And
Yeah.
so I was able to work out all these kinks. So once I made it through July, I was like, you know what? I'm charging now. I feel really confident in charging
Mm-hmm.
what it's worth, right?
Yeah.
So then I moved forward, pedal to the metal,
Mm-hmm.
started, limiting the coffee chats down a little bit so that
Yeah.
I could do client work. And then
Right.
it exploded from there. But if it wasn't for me sitting down, getting those coffee chats in, no matter what, whether
Mm-hmm.
I was exhausted, whether I had my son on my lap or him next to me, whatever it was, I made it work. And
Yes.
then now, fast forward, and I'm here with success. Like Tawana says, everyone asks me, "How did you do that?" And I always reference back to those 2 months that were really hard for me, where I did, coffee chat my butt off and work for free and do those things. But
Yeah.
that is what helped me accelerate my growth within under a year.
Absolutely. And I mean accelerate, folks. Accelerate. Okay. Again, she already told you, she started out copywriting, right? So that's one of her niches. She uses her transferable skills from her traditional career, right? From former employment now in her business, using processes and systems, absolutely executing, delivering on service, pivoting her schedule. All right. So that she can make time to deliver satisfactorily on her promise. I mean, and then amplifying, right? Acknowledging, owning that, you know what? I'm actually good at this. Actually, I'm really good at this. Not because I think so, because
Mhm.
I got affirmation, right? They're willing to come in and share and say, and then tapping into other zones of genius that started appearing. And so, like, she will even have on her profiles, copywriter turned business strategist, right? Because now she has
Mhm.
copywriters that write copy
Mhm.
under her business because she was able to teach them, school them right on her gold standard of excellence and why people still come to her for it and work through them. And so, look, you guys can do whatever it is that you want to do. Find the way that works for you. Do it and
Mhm.
do it well. Do it and do it continuously, right? Find ways to have continuity in business. And no, it's not going to be easy. Everything is going to be a little bit hard on the onset,
Mhm.
right? When you're making a foundation, that's usually the biggest challenge. But once you have it set, you can absolutely skyrocket without caving in because you can sustain it, right? And you can repeat it in your business again and again and again. So I'm so grateful that you are willing to share and teach others that, no, it's not all pretty. And no, it's not an
Mhm.
overnight success. And I do work with others and I did a few things for free. And yeah, I had to shift my habits and I had to curb my schedule and I had to make the necessary adjustments that promoted your future self. And you're continuously doing so and advising us how we can do it as well and helping us look at things differently. So I salute you on all of that. It's just been really, really, really amazing. So hey, if you're like, looking for a little bit of inspiration, right? Because I feel like motivation is personal, but you can be inspired externally. If you're looking for
Mhm.
inspiration, you're like, I got a little baby, and I want to do something. You can do it. You can do it. You can absolutely do it. Bailey is on calls. I've been on calls with her baby boy in the background watching cars, like doing his thing. He comes to her, she pauses to be a mom and keeps going, right? We share that sentiment. Like, I'm not going to apologize for being a mother. I will say, excuse me, because I don't want to be rude, right? But I'm going to address what's in front of me, and my child is a priority. And if that doesn't work for
Mhm.
you, and she will tell you the same thing, you're not our people, we're not your company, right?
Mhm.
And you can stand in that, and that will not dictate your success. Okay? You do. You drive it. So choose you and be your best, not perfect. Just be your best. All right. So today
Mhm.
we're talking about getting physical, getting physical, getting visible. It takes some getting physical, right?
Mhm.
Showing up, but getting visible on Facebook. What is that about, Bailey? So walk us through that. And we have Bailey has some slides for you. So
Mm-hmm.
take your screenshots, get your pen and paper out, because this is one of her zones of genius too. She's an excellent educator. So she's going to teach you what this means and how you can use Facebook as a tool. So all you stay at home moms who are, whether it's by choice or by circumstance, we feel you. You can do the
Mm-hmm.
thing. Use Facebook not as just consumption, but as a tool, because it works. Now you get working. All right. You need me to put it up, Bailey?
Yep,
Is it
you can go ahead
time?
and put it up.
All right, it's
Mm-hmm.
time.
Perfect. So getting invisible on Facebook. Now you'll hear, if you're in the entrepreneurial space, we all dream that, like, people tell us all the time, I see you everywhere, right? But we also get those people who tell us that the algorithm is just not working for them, right? So
Mhm.
how do you bridge that gap? Well,
Right.
here's a very easy training I'm going to walk you through that gives you some of those action steps to implement so that you can
Mhm.
start bridging that gap and people can come to you and say, I'm seeing you everywhere.
Yes.
Okay. So just, we talked about me, not to talk about me some more, but just a couple of things here.
That's
So
right.
my whole mission in business is to help female entrepreneurs embrace their limitless potential in life and business by using their badassery to grow their business, make a
Mhm.
ton of money, and live the lives they want. I think there's a lot of gurus out there who talk about one specific way to grow a business. And if you
Mhm.
don't use their way, it's the wrong way, and you're not
Mhm.
going to get results. I completely call BS on all of that. And I
All
think
of
that
it.
there is multiple ways to run, grow, and scale a business.
Mhm.
Okay. And
Yep.
that's one of the things that I talk about a lot in my own business. And
Yes.
then, using other people's badassery to grow their business. I think there's a
Yes.
lot about, well, if you don't show up a certain way or you don't, follow my vibe, you're not going to get the same results, or people aren't going to connect with you.
Yeah.
Also, BS. Like, show up as you, okay? If you're loud, be loud. If you're a little quirky, be
Be
quirky.
quirky.
People are going to pick up on that and they're going to vibe with you. If you're a mom, show up as a mom. It's going to
Mhm.
translate appropriately, okay? And you're going
Mhm.
to start to see those results because those people are going to find you, okay?
Agreed.
I do that through two services that I offer. Well, two sources. I have a boutique copywriting agency that Tawana touched on, and then I also have business growth services where I work one-on-one with clients to grow and scale their businesses.
Mhm.
And then I just have a couple of cool facts. I'm an Enneagram 3. That's the high achiever. We're extremely high strung. Even though we shouldn't be, we always want to have success. It's either a success or failure. Like, there's no in
There's
between.
no
So
in
if you're one of
between with
those,
you.
literally no in between. No matter how many times my spouse is like the laid back, like cool guy, and I am totally not the cool girl. Like, that's just not me. I am not the cool girl. I'm the girl with the itinerary. Like, let's go down. So
Yes.
if that is you, we should connect. I have a 2-year-old named Sammy. He is almost always with me. Hashtag full-time working mommy. Do not be ashamed of that. I
Mm-mm.
celebrate everything with margaritas. So if you scroll down my personal feed, you'll see that I have a lot of margaritas posted. I will say, to my credit, I don't drink all of them on one night. Okay, it only happens once or
This is
twice
over time.
over a period of
Over a few
time.
days,
Okay.
right?
Exactly. And then one final funny fact is that I try not to watch TV during the week because I have zero like self-control. Like, I binge watch anything. I was like watching some sort of like airport show about how they catch like random people who are bringing in stuff like illegally
Mhm.
from the airport, and I binge watched it. Like, I had
Mhm.
no self-control, zero self-control when it comes to that. Um, so yeah, otherwise I'm super excited. Enough about me. Let's actually get to the fun stuff.
I like
So
it
the
all.
Facebook, yes, the Facebook algorithm. So something to keep in mind is that the algorithm is actually not like one thing. There isn't one thing to hate. It's like
Mhm.
layers on layers and layers, right? So
Mhm.
Facebook's whole goal with this algorithm is actually to help us as consumers. So let's,
Yeah.
give them the benefit of the doubt, a little bit of grace to
Yeah.
Facebook, okay?
Yeah.
Even though we all hate the algorithm or like to say that we do, let's give them a little bit of grace because they are trying to show us what we want to see, right? Or at least
Mm-hmm.
who we want to see.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if that's actually true, but that's also AI for you, right? So they're
That's
doing the
right.
best they can. So let's work with the algorithm, okay? So at the very basic level, it controls what posts you and your friends, your audience see on your feed and in what order you see them, right? That's the
Mm-hmm.
very simplest way to understand this. All
Okay.
right. So if we're thinking about getting visible, we need to get on the good side of the algorithm. We just
Mm.
do. So
Yeah.
let's talk about some ways that we can work with the algorithm. Now, Facebook calls these ranking signals. These are things that tell the algorithm or signals the algorithm that we should be shown on a particular person's feed. Okay, I'm
Okay.
gonna say it one time. So these signals tell the algorithm, hey, Tawana is interested in what Bailey is saying. Tawana and Bailey are friends. They
Mm-hmm.
interact. We want to make sure that we're promoting Bailey's stuff on
Mm-hmm.
Tawana's feed.
Got it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a couple of things. Let's start with relationship. So the relationship is the post from a person or a business, news
Mm-hmm.
source, or public figure that the user often engages with, i.e.,
Mm-hmm.
messages, tags, engages with, follows, etc. So something I'd like to point out here is that it's not all about commenting on somebody's post. It is
Mm-hmm.
also about being inside of the DMs with somebody. So if you're
Mm-hmm.
inside of direct messages and you're talking to somebody,
Mm-hmm.
then your posts are automatically going to get onto their feed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's really important that not only are you commenting on other people's social media posts, and
Mm-hmm.
when I say comment, I mean meaningful comments, guys, not
Mm-hmm.
this was awesome or thumbs up emoji, even though that seems like the easiest cop out when it comes to interaction.
It
Give
is.
something meaningful, right? And then
Yeah.
also get into the DMs with people. So as you're networking, like when you're coming up to a big promotion period, like I just launched Copy Circle for me, I got into the DM.
Yay.
Yes, I'm super excited about it. But I got into the DMs of everybody who's in my Facebook group, or a majority of them. I'm still making my way through.
Mm-hmm.
And what I did was really just check up on them and,
Yes.
personally just see what they needed as far as what resources I can include in my Facebook group. But I also used the timing strategically, right?
Yeah.
I knew I
Mm-hmm.
was going to have to reach out to them because I am creating more resources, but I waited until right before I was going to promote something so that Facebook's algorithm will pick up on these messages and
Mm-hmm.
then put my social media
In
in
their
their feed.
in front of their feed. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Exactly. And then, of course, tags and engagement and follows. So, as people
Mm-hmm.
are following you, whether it's your personal page or business page, as
Mm-hmm.
they are friending you, you can actually, there's a new friend feature on the personal page, which I thought was interesting. And then tagging you in social media posts as well. Those are all things that signal the
Mm-hmm.
algorithm that you guys have a relationship, that you guys aren't just friends, you guys actually have an ongoing relationship. Did you have
Nice.
any questions or any comments on this before I go over to content type?
No questions, more so
Mhm.
that like affirmation, right? People, I have literally had people, my mom in particular has witnessed me. Not a whole lot of people have, seen me work outside of being on screen. But mom's like,
Mhm.
you and those messages, like you spend so much time sending messages. And I was like, yeah, it's a part of the workflow, right? It's like
Mhm.
you acknowledge, you follow up with a message with permission, right? When you're invited to, you follow up with a message, you have conversation. It's not like tags and messages are for relationship. They're not for your pitch, right? Like you don't just
Mhm.
go right in and say, hey Bailey, need some project management? Like, who are you? Who are you, lady? Like, what are you what are you even talking about, right? You get to know the person. You spend some time inquiring about the person so that you can determine whether or not there's even room for a mutually beneficial relationship or an opportunity therein, right? And so all of everything that you're saying, being on the profile, being in the comments, um, uh, meaningfully, as you said, because I know there are
Mhm.
many times, particularly with friends things, I want to acknowledge it and I want to move quickly because I'm using Facebook as a tool, right? Way more as a tool than consumption. And so when I see friends stuff, I will acknowledge quickly and I'll do my celebration, little corn, thing, or I will do my heart. Just so that, hey, sis, I see you, bro, you're doing great, right? But then if it comes something for the business, I take time and answer the question, right? Because typically those posts are in need of something different. And I also function more differently in that space as well. And those who know me get it. They're like, charge it to her head and not her heart, But all these things that you're sharing and how multifaceted the strategy behind using Facebook as a tool is super significant. So I hope you all are paying attention to that. Keep going, Bailey.
Yes, absolutely. So now we're going to be on content type. And I know that most of you are like, okay, we're hearing from a copywriter. So she's going to be like, put out written content, put out written content. That is not what I'm going to say. So allow me to wow you for a second. Okay. So content type as far as Facebook ranking signals, right? What type of media is in the post and which type of media does the user interact with? So this does not have anything to do with you. So a lot of the times I'm a copy coach, I work with people and they always talk about, well, I'm not comfortable with video and I'm not comfortable writing posts. At the end of the day, I'm so sorry. It does not matter what you're comfortable with. When you're starting out, I always encourage people to start with what they're comfortable with. But once you move past that and you're really starting to utilize this as a tool and you're open to doing both, you really should be doing both, right?
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, Tawana is somebody who likes to show up in video. She's all about it. I am personally someone who reads content. So Tawana only shows up in video and I only read content. Facebook is going to pick up on that and say Tawana probably doesn't need to be on her feed because she's not going to interact with the post, right? So when you're thinking about what type of content you're going to be putting out, remember that it's not about you, it's about the user, right? So you want to cover all your bases. And so there's a ton of ways that you can repurpose content. There are, a new thing that I saw on the stories, which I'll talk about later on, is that you can do voiceovers with visual aids on the stories now.
Snap. Don't tell me that because I can get my radio voice on now.
Yes, you should because you have one of the best radio voices ever. But yeah, you can do little voiceovers.
I'm excited about that.
So, oh my God, the one that I saw, it had like little slides that went on and then it had the string at the top with the voice going up and down.
Ooh.
It had me so interested because I thought it was so high tech. So you can use that.
Fascinating. Look, we got some good comments, Bailey. So I want to say hi, Ananya, Christian, Jill, Paracia. They're like, wow, I needed to hear that, Bailey. Hey, get it, Bailey. Celebrating all the things that you're sharing. Keep going.
Love it. Love it. So when you're thinking about content, let's say one of the easiest ways to come in and kind of repurpose is to go live, right? Like when Tawana goes live, she drops a ton of value bombs. So what you need to do is to just go, if that's your flow, if you're just like that, go live, do your thing, come back afterwards, edit the post, and then include a brief overview of all of the main things that you talked about, right? So that's an easy way to show the algorithm that it's both written content and then it is also video media, right? And so it's showing both. You can also, double up what you're doing. So in the morning you can do videos, in the afternoon you can do written. It can all be the same thing, right? The same person, the chances that the same person is going to see the same video and written post that you do, very slim. Very slim.
Yeah.
So just think about those creative ways and remember that it's not about you. It's about what type of content your people want to see. So switch it up when you can. Okay. Make sure that you're utilizing all types of content. And then popularity. How are people who have already seen the post reacting to it, right? So this is where you want to tap into your network a little bit. You want to make sure that you're nurturing those relationships, right? So Tawana talks a lot about the right way to network, the right ways to build relationships, and
Mm-hmm.
it really stems from having the right intentions,
Yes.
right? So when
Mm-hmm.
you're thinking about popularity, I know it's so easy to say, well, no one's interacting with my post and nobody's
Mm-hmm.
commenting, no one's sharing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you having the right intentions when you're
Mm-hmm.
networking, when
Mm-hmm.
you're building those relationships, when you're
Mm-hmm.
direct messaging people,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because all of those intentions are going to come back and either bite you in the butt or do
Yep.
you a huge favor.
Yep.
Okay. And so the other thing I like to say on this is give love to get love.
Yeah.
So those little emojis there, the heart with the happy faces, all good. Thumbs up, Facebook completely pretty much ignores at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So give love to get love. Make sure that you are showing hearts, you're giving emojis, you're leaving comments because people will come back and do that. Also, make sure that you have that support network, those business besties, those people that you talk to on a regular occasion, because while you're building those relationships, if you're always commenting on their stuff,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to always comment on yours. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then the people with teams, if you have a VA on your team or you have a social media manager, you have a couple of people, when you post, tag them in the comments below and have them write a couple of comments. The faster you can get interaction on your post, the more it'll be boosted, right?
Yeah.
And then have them come back in the afternoon or you come back in the afternoon and also comment some more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because it's going
Mm-hmm.
to boost it more later, right?
Yep.
Every time Facebook picks up on that interaction, it boosts the post. It's
Mm-hmm.
not just a post and then immediate interaction. If the interaction comes 2-3 hours later, Facebook's algorithm is still going to pick up on it, right?
Yes.
Another thing about this, last
Mm-hmm.
last tip about popularity. So another way to go ahead and boost is, so let's say I do a social media post and Tawana is gracious enough to comment on it for me, and
Mm-hmm.
then you hit reply. So I reply back to Tawana and say, thank you so much, like for commenting. What was your favorite part?
Mm-hmm.
Tawana responds back to me. I need to create a brand new comment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So after you respond to somebody and they respond back, create a brand new comment, because again, the algorithm picks up on comments versus replies. Okay, so the comments
Mm.
are going to boost it. So make sure that you are posting new comments after you reply to somebody. Always make sure you tag them so that they get the alert, and all of that good stuff. But make sure that you're doing those brand new comments. Did you have something you want to add?
This is so good, first and foremost, right? And I wanted to add, so there were two things that you mentioned that I hope, those of us who are listening, and I'm saying us because I'm listening and learning too, always, always listening and learning. And Bailey talked about like networking, right? Having the right intentions. And so there are three ways that I share with my clients or anyone who's willing to have the conversation about networking and the way to look at it. As entrepreneurs, of course, you're in business, right? To make money. Yes, you want to help. You're giving value, right? You're satisfying a need through what you're offering, whether you're service-based or whether you're product-based. When you're networking with people, though, your motive, your intention, look at it this way. I'm going to encourage you to look at it this way and ask yourself, if you are not, what can you do to shift to this so that you get what you intend, right? And so that the other person can receive you as a benefit. There's three ways that networking works out for you. Number one, either you're just going to meet a really cool person that might not necessarily be suited for you, but they'll be suited for somebody else that you meet, right? And so you have a referral opportunity because you built rapport, you got a personality basis, you got an understanding of what it is that they do. You put them in your Airtable or your Google spreadsheet or whatever it is that you use, and you refer them out, right? Reciprocity. It's a thing that doesn't cost you anything. It's not taking anything away from you to build, right? Community. Two, that person actually wants to collaborate with you. They say, you know what, Bailey, I really like this that you're talking about right here. Will you go live with me? And Bailey says yes. And boom, bam, here we are tonight. Right? We're on a live because we shared synergy. And now we're amplifying not only one another in business, not only supporting one another in business and in relationship and in womanhood and in motherhood and all those good things, but we're able to reach one another's audiences, right? I will see people that she wouldn't see. She will see people that I normally wouldn't see. She's getting a copy of this video download to do whatever she wants with here forward, right? It becomes an opportunity. The third way networking can work for you is you become a client of theirs because you have a need, or they become a client of yours because because they have a need. There's three great ways, three great reasons why you should get talking, right? Three great reasons why you are continuously having good-hearted conversations, because you never know what the opportunity is going to be. You never know what that next decision is going to be made that promotes you towards, right, your goals, your vision, your dreams. So don't be afraid to get talking, because it strengthens your messaging. It strengthens your awareness about your good things. And then Bailey commented about tagging. So there's a quote that I want to share by Seth Godin. And I'm really on him a lot right now because I'm in his Akimbo marketing program and he's just dropping gems like crazy. Tags are an invitation, not an obligation. There's two sides to that, right? If you're tagged, if you don't see it right away, you can't get around to it, don't feel bad. Hop on it when you get it. Start a new comment, right? Bailey just said, start a new comment. It's another opportunity. If you tag people, it is not an obligation for them to respond. Although it's really great, you are inviting them to be a part of what you're sharing, right? So when your intentions are good, you don't have to carry weight. You don't have to feel guilty about anything. You can just keep going forward, sharing your great thing. You, Bailey.
Love it. Agree with everything that you say. I feel like we could have a whole hour, 2 hour long.
We could do this all day.
We're just going to go on to recency. So this one is probably the no-brainer of all of them, which is the newer posts are going to be placed higher. So when your social media person, when your copywriter, when your marketing expert tells you that you need to be posting multiple times a day, it is solely for this purpose, right? Yeah. So if you're doing all of these things in tandem is what I was saying there, in tandem with each other, then you'll start to realize that people are going to come to you and literally say, I see you everywhere, right? Because they will, because you're getting interaction on older posts, right? Like I said, when people come back, when they have time and they comment on your post, it's going to boost back up in the algorithm, right? Yes. And then also the newer posts that you're putting out are going to show up. So make sure that you're posting multiple times a day. Everyone always asks me the same question: how many times a day should I post? That's the ultimate question that I get. Right. I say at least 3 times a day, and do it with what works for your schedule, based on the fact that you need to do it consistently. So if you can post first thing in the morning when you're making your coffee every single day, and then you can post again when you're eating lunch, and again when you're, after you put the kids down to bed, then do that. If the times vary, it is okay. It is not like a life or death situation. If you don't post at 3 p.m. every single day, it is okay. 100%. So do your best to post 3 times a day. Do your best to do it spread out a little bit, because again, at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we're getting those newer posts higher. So we want to give the other posts some time to sizzle out, right? So I say morning, afternoon, evening, if you can, right? That's the other thing. There is no pressure, no obligation. Just do what you can. If 2 posts is pushing it for you, do the 2 posts.
Do the 2. Right? Do something. Do something. See, this is why we jive. Do something, right? And then for people like me, like Bailey knows, I'm like, Bailey, content's so hard for me. Like I had the ladies in our Facebook community were giggling at me one day because it took me 20 minutes to make one stinking post. Like it just took so long, right? If content is hard for you, right? Now, mind you, Bailey copywrites, right? She's a copywriter. So writing is easy for her. If writing content is hard for you, leverage other people's content, right? Push yourself past your comfort zone. Get help if you need to come up with posts that you can create so that people, when they come to your profile, they know who you are and what you do, right? They don't have to be like, well, I think she got a business. I don't know what she's selling this week. They want to know who you are and what you do, right? Yet if it's hard, don't cower out and not show up. Give value. Respond to other people's posts that you resonate with,
Mm-hmm.
right? Create meaningful comments in theirs, and that also trips and triggers and generates opportunities for you too, as well as relationship, right?
Mm-hmm.
Relationship. So just give your best and give something, some level of effort to it, rather than not do it and then wonder why nothing's working for you or why nobody's responding, right? Let
Mm-hmm.
metrics, data drive your decision. It's numerical, right? It's quantitative as well as qualitative, right? Let that value shine through you. Show up and give what you have to offer. Show up and answer the question. Don't just drop your link. Don't be the person that just drops your link. Answer the question, 1 or 2 sentences. And then if the link is appropriate, throw that in there as well. But don't just drop a link and fly. That means nothing. That didn't give them any additional. They've already been searching. Help them quickly see why you are the solution to what they need. Back to you, Bailey.
I feel like we're on a new show, like a little bit, but exactly what you said. Before I get into these tips, like I just want to point out that there's gonna be 20 to 30, even 100 other links on that post by the end of the day. So is the link
Be
really
a
appropriate?
differentiator. Right. Be the differentiator.
Absolutely. So these are some tips to work with in the algorithm to make sure that you're getting those comments, that your people are
Mm-hmm.
seeing you, right?
Yeah.
So reply to your audiences seems to be like one of the hardest, but also like the no-brainer things, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like I talked about with the whole comment situation, hit reply to your audience. Then when they reply to you, start a brand new comment so that you can
Mm-hmm.
boost it in the algorithm again. Aim
Mm-hmm.
for love, not likes. And so the best way to do that, other than like saying, hey, you got to love my stuff, which is not what I would recommend, is
Right.
you give love, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you also write content or you put out videos that are meaningful, right? Because the more meaningful they are, the more jam-packed full of value they are, the less likely they're going to give you a thumbs up and move on to the next. And the reason why you want that love is because again, it's going to work within the algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Post when your audience is online and be consistent. So
Yeah.
I include this. This isn't always the case for us, providers for online entrepreneurs. Our audience is almost always online, so we really don't have to worry about that. If you
Mm-hmm.
are in the B2C space, factor in those things when you're posting. So I work with a couple of sleep coaches for children, and their audience is online during certain times of the day. So just be
Yeah.
aware of that. You hear my son's finally home. And then
Yeah.
be consistent. So be as consistent as you can. In the very beginning of our discussion, I said you only can do as much as you can do.
Mm-hmm.
I firmly believe that even with posting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So try and be consistent. If you miss a day, if you miss a week, it is going to be okay as long as you get back on that horse and you start over and you say, you know
Yeah.
what, I'm going to post once a day, then I'm going to up it to 2, and then I'm going to up it to 3, and we're going to see
Mm-hmm.
how it goes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
post when your audience is online and be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Go live on Facebook is another thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because you want to make sure that you're doing more than just brand content. You want to switch it up because, again,
Yeah.
it's not about the way that you want to show up. It's about the way that your audience reacts to the media that you put out, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Tawana only watches videos, my written content, her Facebook algorithm isn't going to be showing up on her feed, right? Vice versa. If I only read written content and she's only posting videos, Facebook's gonna say, hey, maybe Bailey's not gonna like her videos because she never watches videos, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
mix it up. Go live on Facebook.
Yeah.
Become a fave is a new thing. So you can actually have favorites, like their favorite friends on your personal page. And
Mm-hmm.
so when you fave somebody, that means that their content is always going to be shown on your feed. So
Yeah.
with these partnerships that you're making, these networking, these relationships, these business besties,
Mm-hmm.
ask them to be a fave so that
Mm-hmm.
they can see all of your content all of the time.
Yeah.
Okay. Interact on others' posts like you mean it. We already
Mm-hmm.
kind of talked about that. Get your audience to reply to each other is another huge thing. So start those conversations. This is something that, takes a little bit of practice. It also takes a little bit of confidence too, right? You have to know the people who are interacting within your comments. So if I have Tawana and I have somebody else that I think would have really good synergy, I can introduce them on the feed and have them start their own conversation, right? So when we're posting those questions to garner interaction in other Facebook groups, this is also a way that you can not only show that you have a really large network and people, also show that you believe in reciprocity, but you can also boost your algorithm, right?
That's right.
Skip their algorithm altogether by using stories. So I touched on using stories. Not only is it a different media that Facebook loves, but it's above the algorithm. Stories is not at this very moment factored into algorithm. So everyone's going to have the chance to see your stories. So keep that in mind. Utilize and nurture your Facebook group. That is a huge thing because that also factors in. As Tawana puts so much love and value into her Facebook group, if you have a Facebook group, spend your time there. And I know I hear the number one thing I hear is, why would I put so much into my Facebook group and I never get anything out of it and I can't seem to monetize it. And that comes back to having the wrong intentions, right? Don't grow and nurture your Facebook group expecting something in return as far as money goes, because the money will never come to you. And that's a little bit of mindset. That's a little bit of karma. That's a little bit of these things mixed together. Okay. So utilize and nurture your Facebook group. And as far as the algorithm goes, it picks up on the people who are inside of your group who are interacting. And so it's going to boost your posts further. And then warm up your feed is something that a lot of people hate. And I understand it, but it's necessary. So be strategic with what you're doing. So make sure you spend, those 5 minutes going through and replying to your audience, interacting on other posts like you mean it, giving love, doing those things so that Facebook knows that you're active, and then do your post. So those are just some simple tips so that you can walk away with a list of things that you can start doing literally tonight.
Some tips, that is 10 solid tips, people.
Yeah, Daddy can help you do that. He can help you.
He's like, Mama, it's Mama time. But yeah, these are 10 solid tips that people can use. And dare I say, look, people, get creative. Try these if you're on other platforms and if you're like, I'm just not quite sure. Try them there too, right? Show up in one cool place, focus there, if you must. Yet if you're on other platforms, here are other creative ways that you can leverage, that you can add value, if you're afraid about repurposing content, I tell my clients, don't be afraid to post the same thing again. Flip a word, change the background, make it short in the morning, make it, long in the morning, short in the evening. Like, that doesn't mean the same people are going to keep seeing it. Like, people are on at different times of day all the time. And it's our responsibility as the business owners to provide continuous education. Right? We are responsible for letting people know what's available. So make sure that you are sharing your information. When you don't show up, you do yourself and everyone else you intend to serve a disservice, right? So be your best you and give value. Bailey, thank you so much for this tonight. Please let us know, right? She's going to prepare to tell us where she can find us, and it's right here on the screen. Screenshot again. I hope you all been doing that all night. If you missed something, go back and replay it. Leave a fresh comment, right? And ask your questions. What questions do you all have? Go ahead and drop those along the way. I forgot to reset the the room. This is not Clubhouse.
Clubhouse. You got Clubhouse fever there.
I got Clubhouse on the brain. But put some things in the chat. Bailey welcomes it. And while we wait for some comments to come up, we got some Facebook users saying so many tips. I'm sorry, I can't see who you are. Lauren said so many tips. Paracia is saying I needed to hear all of this tonight, right? All of it. Like, this has been so wonderful. What questions do you have while we have her? We got a powerhouse on the line, y'all. What you got? What you got?
as those come in, I'll just take a couple of minutes and just say where you can hang out with me since, but
Yes.
yes, bring in all of the questions, the hard stuff, the easy stuff, like whatever. Um, so inside of my Facebook group, Profitable Launches for High Achieving Online Entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
that is where I drop a lot of my value. I go live
Mm-hmm.
weekly. I have guest speakers weekly. I also allow you guys to go live every Thursday too, just
Yep.
similar to how Tawana does. So I'll make sure to come back around and drop the link for that.
Yes.
Instagram, I am fairly new to Instagram, so don't judge my 6 posts that I do, but they are good posts, I promise. So you
Mm-hmm.
can follow me there, and then of course on Clubhouse. So I am dabbling a little bit. I'm a dabbler on Clubhouse
Yeah.
right now, but I'm working on some rooms that I want to start doing weekly. So I'm pretty excited about that. So come hang out
Me
with me
too.
in any of those places.
Yes, that is so wonderful. I'm going to check the comments now, see if there are any questions that have come up. And if they have not, that's all right. We do have, oh, this is beautiful. I'm going to put this one on the screen. Let me see if it'll let me do that. Yay. And I'll tell you who it's from. It's from Lauren. And she said, I'm impressed with all you do and how you can do it all. Thank you for sharing that encouragement, Lauren, for Bailey, because, it's hard to see the picture when you're in the frame. And as a high achieving visionary, you can be so self-critical. And even though you're doing all that you can do and you're maximizing every opportunity possible, it's still easy to look at self and criticize and be like, I could have done this differently. I could have done this better, or, so on and so forth. And so, I hope that's affirmation, Bailey, that you are absolutely showing up. You are absolutely giving value to others. You are absolutely transforming people's lives, transforming people's businesses through your words, through your experiences, and even, motherhood, like helping remind women who are moms on this journey that you can do it. Right? It's tough. We're going to acknowledge that. We're going to take that adult pause. Yeah, you can do it. Right? So we've got someone says, I struggle with social media integration. I've been very private except for family and friends. Other tips to warm up? Well, that's a great question. Thank you for asking.
I love it. So, I think we all kind of struggle with that. It took me a while too. Believe it or not, before I started my entrepreneurial journey, I
Mm-hmm.
was not a social media person. And yes, I was born into social media and I was still not a social media person. And so, you just kind of got to feel out what you feel comfortable with sharing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't share a ton about my childhood, right? Just because I'm not comfortable with that yet. I don't share, I share a lot about my son because I'm comfortable being a mompreneur, but I don't share, all of my family details. Why?
Right.
Because I'm not comfortable with that. I do share my professional journey,
Mm-hmm.
but again, there are some stories that I just don't share. So I think the first point is just being okay that you don't want to share everything. There
Yeah.
are some people that do share everything, and that is amazing,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But it is okay if you don't. So
That's right.
start by just sharing what you feel comfortable with too. If you are worried about sharing the fact that you are a business owner and that you
Mm-hmm.
own an online business, brick and mortar, whatever that looks like for you,
Mm-hmm.
because you are worried about being judged by either people within your network, people, friends, family, whatever, then I would just take a deep breath,
Yep.
pull out some paper, and as much as some people love to journal, others don't, work a little bit on that mindset and narrow down why you feel like you can't
Mm-hmm.
share it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
Mm-hmm.
figure out those reasons and start working your way backwards, because I
Yes.
think a lot of it is just first being comfortable, being yourself. If yourself is sharing everything, great. If yourself is just sharing what you feel comfortable with, okay,
Mm-hmm.
great. This is all a journey, right?
Yep.
Social media in general is a journey. The way that I showed up on day one is different from the way that I'm showing up 9 months later, right? The stuff
Absolutely.
that I shared on day one is different than the stuff that I share now. So on day one, it was
Absolutely.
very much so like how to, what to do, like keeping it towards, the tangible things that I think my audience needs help with. And now it's very much towards motherhood and promoting other female entrepreneurs. And I grew into that. I didn't start with boasting about mompreneurship and empowering other women. That
Right.
happened over time.
Yeah.
Okay. So just sit
Yeah.
down and figure out what you feel comfortable with. Acknowledge that it is okay that you don't share everything, and then start just slowly sharing what you feel good about. If it's one post a day where you really just talk about a problem that your audience has, do it. If you feel comfortable with sharing more about your story and why you got into what you do that. But start with what you feel good about, and I promise you, somewhere in your journey, you'll start to feel yourself opening up, and you won't even know it. It'll just happen.
Yes. I'm going to post a reply to what you've just expressed. And it says, thank you. I can share the journey and the lessons I've learned. Everyone seems to be an expert. I'm not there yet, but I'll try it. I wanted to add to that. First of all, celebrate yourself, right? For saying, you know what? I do have something to share. I do have something that I can tell. I do have something that I can invite people into, right? And whether or not they receive it, that's not your outcome. You are responsible for showing up and giving the best from you, right? And when you talk about being an expert, I'm glad you put it in quotes. We use that loosely because no matter how proficient we are, right, there's always something more to be learning. So you're not going and sharing to profess that you know everything. You're professing that you know what you know and you have the experience. Even if it was yesterday, you're one step ahead than you were before that happened. And you can share, right, what you've learned. There's always something, there's always some value that you can give. And we look forward to you absolutely going forward and doing just that. And please keep us posted. Let us know. Let us know how it goes and ask us questions. Anybody have other questions for Bailey as we wrap up this talk on getting physical, why do I keep wanting to say physical? I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
I don't exercise, Tawana. So I don't know where you get it.
Maybe I'm reminiscing. We actually got to go outside today. The weather was really nice. And we spent an hour this afternoon outside playing and walking and watching squirrels and stuff in the bushes. And it was really cool. And so it's been more physical of a day today than most days. And looking forward to have more of that happening. So if you have any additional questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Tag Bailey in them. She will be happy to respond. She's very responsive. And if you want to DM her, you're welcome to do that too. She's already extended the invitation. Her group, her Instagram, her Clubhouse are all right here. Check them out. Bailey, any parting words you want to leave with our great folks tonight?
I think really just don't blame the algorithm so much. It is really here to try and help us as consumers. The other thing, acknowledge that it isn't all about you when you come to creating and showing up on Facebook, whether it's, you being authentic in the way that you show up, consistency in the way that you plan your schedule and doing what you can when you can, whether it's, having the right intentions when you're posting social media and you're replying on to other people's posts. Just remember that it's not really all about us, and it's so hard to forget that. And I'll even admit it, as an Enneagram 3, like, we crave that praise. Like, it's just part of our personalities. We want that attention, we want that praise, we want that success. And so sometimes you have to sit back and say, you know what? No, that is not what it's all about, right? Reevaluate, step forward, work within the algorithm, and I promise you, you will see results.
Yep, you sure will. Well, thank you so much again for everything, Bailey. This has been phenomenal. I can't wait to see the results that people are going to get from this conversation. Those of you who are staying tuned with Transcend with Bootstrap Dreams, we will see you on our next live. Let me pull this down here. On our next live on March 25th. So we're taking a break next week, but we will be back on the 25th, same time, same place with Jatea Jones. Networking is a mutually beneficial relationship. It is not an elevator pitch. And I think we even tapped on that at one point tonight. We're going to talk more about this. Putting the human first in business is significant. It is what is going to bring forth your money, your mindset, and your person transformation. So thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you here next time we go live.